In this question, we are given equipotential spherical surfaces and their potential and respective radius. We have potential of V0 at radius R0. We have potential of V0 plus delta V at radius R1. We have potential of V0 plus 2 delta V at radius of R2. We have potential of V0 plus 3 delta V at radius of R3, so on. We have potential of V0 plus n delta V at nth radius. So in this way, the potential, equipotential surfaces and respective radius are given to us, and it is also given that the difference of radius, successive radius, is constant. So R1 minus R0 is constant, R2 minus R1 is a fixed quantity, so the difference is same in between them. You can also see that the difference in the potential is also same. When I subtract this from this, I will get delta V. Here also, when I subtract this from this, I will get delta V. So we are having same potential difference and we have same difference in radius, and we are asked to find the charge density variation as a function of radius. How the charge density varies with radius, we have to identify that. For that, we know that the electric field is minus of del V by del R. We know that the equipotential surface and electric field are always perpendicular to each other. The equipotential surface are spherical, so electric field will be radial. So we are writing ER is equal to minus del V by del R. Here you can see that the del V is the difference of potential and del R represents the difference of radius, which is coming out to be fixed value. Here we can see it is delta V and del R is here delta R. So our radial electric field is minus of delta V by delta R. So we can write in a vector form as minus of delta V by delta R R cap. This is the given electric field. Now we have to say something about the charge density variation as a function of radius. For that, we know the Gauss law. So for that, I am going to calculate electric flux through any particular radius R. When I take a spherical surface of radius R, I can calculate the electric flux passing through this surface, and I can write it as E dot dA integral. Here any area vector can be taken as a R cap. So here we can write minus of delta V by delta R R cap dot dA in magnitude into R cap. So R cap dot R cap is 1. This quantity is constant. So it becomes minus delta V by delta R integral of magnitude of area, which becomes 4 pi R square, minus delta V by delta R delta V by delta R into 4 pi R square. So first of all, by the given potential difference and difference in radius, we have calculated the electric field, and electric field is coming out to be constant in magnitude and is radial in direction. So then we have calculated the electric flux, which comes out to be this minus delta V by delta R into 4 pi R square. This quantity is constant, delta V by delta R. Now if we want to find the charge density in a specific region, for that I am taking a small radius R plus dr, small change in radius. So we have another radius R plus dr, and difference in electric flux through these two surfaces will be the net flux passing through this volume or this closed surface. So we have taken dr radius here, and if I want to find the difference in electric flux, for that I am differentiating this with respect to r, d phi by dr, which will give us minus of delta v by delta r into 8 pi r. So change in flux due to change in radius is minus delta v by delta r into 8 pi r dr. This is the electric flux, net electric flux passing through this area. We are saying that we have a region which is inside the two radius r and r plus dr, and net electric flux passing through this region is the delta phi d phi. Now according to Gauss law, the net flux passing through any surface should be equal to, according to Gauss law we know that net flux passing through surface is equal to q inside by epsilon naught. So we have calculated net flux, so we are writing it as minus delta v by delta r into 8 pi r dr. Now what is the charge inside this region? So for dr radius we can assume charge density to be constant. So we are writing rho into 4 pi r square dr divided by epsilon naught. So I can say that dr r dr get cancelled. So we will get rho is equal to minus of 2 delta v by delta r into epsilon naught divided by r. So all other quantities are constant. We can say rho is inversely proportional to r. Let me again explain you what I have done. We are given fixed potential difference at fixed difference of radius. By this type of information we have calculated the radial electric field, which comes out to be constant in magnitude, and its direction is radial because the surface is spherical and electric field is always perpendicular to equipotential surface. And after that I have calculated electric flux through any radius r. For that I have integrated this electric field into area, so it comes out to be minus delta v by delta r 4 pi r square. Now I have taken two different surfaces at r and r plus dr radius, and through this closed surface net flux will be the change in flux through the two radius. So I have differentiated this, and by that I got the delta phi. So delta phi is the difference in electric flux through inner and outer surface, which is giving me net flux coming out of this closed surface. So that expression is this. Now using Gauss law we know that the net flux passing through any closed surface will be q inside by epsilon naught. So we have calculated net flux, which is substituted on the left hand side, and on the right side we have to write the charge inside this region. So this region is having volume 4 pi r square into dr, assuming charge density to be rho and substituting the value of epsilon. When I solve this, we got that it is 1 by r. The negative sign is saying that the electric field is inwards. So the potential, when we move opposite to the electric field, electric potential should increase. It is given that the delta v is positive. So we can say that the charge is negative and electric field is towards the center, and its magnitude is constant, and charge density is inversely proportional to r. So this should be the correct choice of this question.